The Guatemalan Armed Forces consist of the National Army of Guatemala and the Presidential Honor Guard. The Ministry of National Defense is the agency of the Guatemalan government responsible for the budget, training and policy of the armed forces. Based in Guatemala City, the Defense Ministry is heavily guarded, and the President of Guatemala frequently visits. As of 2017, the Minister of National Defense is Major General Luis Miguel Ralda Moreno. The Minister of Defense is responsible for policy. Day-to-day operations are the responsibility of the Military Chief of Staff and the National Defense Staff. Guatemala is a signatory to the Rio Pact and was a member of the Central American Defense Council. The President of the Republic is Commander-in-Chief. Prior to 1945, the Defense Ministry was titled the Secretariat of War. An agreement signed in September 1996, which is one of the substantive peace accords, mandated that the mission of the armed forces change to focus exclusively on external threats. Presidents Álvaro Arzu and his successors Alfonso Portillo, Oscar Berger and Álvaro Colom have used a constitutional clause to order the army on a temporary basis to support the police in response to a nationwide wave of violent crime, a product of the Mexican criminal organizations going across the Northwest region. The peace accords call for a one-third reduction in the army's authorized strength and budget, achieved in 2004, and for a constitutional amendment to permit the appointment of a civilian minister of defense. A constitutional amendment to this end was defeated as part of a May 1999 plebiscite. But discussions between the executive and legislative branches continue on how to achieve this objective. In 2004, the Army has gone beyond its accord-mandated target and has implemented troop reductions from an estimated 28,000 to 15,500 troops, including subordinate Air Force and Navy elements. It is equipped with armaments and material from the United States, Israel, Taiwan, Argentina, Spain, and France. As part of the Army downsizing, the operational structure of 19 military zones and 3 strategic brigades are being recast as several military zones are eliminated and their area of operations absorbed by others. The Air Force operates 3 air bases. The Navy has 2 port bases. The Guatemalan Army has a special forces unit known as the Cabiles. In 2011, a Guatemalan court convicted 4 members of the Cabiles of killing more than 200 civilians in the Dos Ears massacre in 1982. Each man was sentenced to 6,050 years in prison. Their convictions for their roles in the massacre nearly 30 years prior, in which soldiers killed more than 200 men, women, and children, would not have happened if not for the courage of victims of violence and Guatemala's Attorney General, Claudia Paz y Paz. After the convictions of the Dos Ears 4, based on a Guatemalan government's commitment to reorganize its special forces units, the U.S. Department of Defense resumed military aid. The Día del Ejército is celebrated on the 30th of June, although if it occurs on a Tuesday or Wednesday it is celebrated on the prior Monday. And if it occurs on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday it moves to the following Monday. The armed forces today number at around 39,000 active personnel. The Army or Land Forces are the oldest military branch of the armed forces. In the middle of the 19th century, General Rafael Carrera promoted it with the triumph in the Battle of San José La Arada, dated to the 2nd of February 1851. A date that is today commemorated as the day of this branch. The Navy was founded on the 15th of January 1959 by the then President Miguel Ydigoras Fuentes, due to the need to protect the country's marine resources, which at the time were the object of illegal predation by fishing boats from neighboring countries. It is a state entity with functions as a police agency for seas and rivers. The Guatemalan Air Force constitutes the aviation portion of the Guatemalan Army. Founded in 1921, it is organized, equipped and trained to plan, conduct and execute the actions imposed by the state military defense in relation to the use of air power. The Presidential Honor Guard of Guatemala is a branch of the Guatemalan Land Forces, responsible for the care and protection of the President of the Republic. as well as the Vice President. Personal equipment Colt Model M733 Colt Model 723 Colt Model 727 All data from World Military Intelligence Armored Vehicles Utility Vehicles